Hello everyone. See if my presentation is pulled up. Nice. Yeah, so a little background on me. My name's Christian. I'm a software engineer in the Boston office. I graduated from RIT in 2015. I was a game design student, so not your typical web engineer that we usually look for in skill set, but here I am today, so it's something, right? Yeah, so once we get this presentation pulled up, I'll kind of be walking you through a timeline of, I started here as an intern, and I joined as a full-timer shortly afterwards. You can see, even when I joined as an intern, it was, cool, perfect, thank you. So, starting as an intern, it didn't really feel like a typical internship. Previously you had kind of just been given work that no full-timers really wanted to do, but in this case, I was working on, some pretty cool projects, directly client-facing products. So that was back in 2015. I'm not going to go too much into detail about everything on here, but I've definitely grown as an engineer, grown as a person, whether it be through contributions to culture, gaining more responsibility on our revenue side, becoming a tech mentor to an actual manager, so I now have someone working under me, which is, pretty cool to say after your first 2 years of working after school. So, here's how it all started. I was in the same shoes as you guys, just in the Boston office. But that's me in the very back of the room over there. I was extremely nervous. Try not to be nervous today, guys. I know it's tough, but so I was about the fourth person in that room, and I decided to sit in the extremely farthest back row seats just because I kind of wanted to fly under the radar that day. I wasn't really feeling confident about myself. I'm not really good when it comes to tech interviews, so I was a little nervous. And throughout the day, I was just pretty reserved. Even when it came time for the career fair, I had met with Sarah at the RIT career fair. It was awesome talking to him. He kind of painted NxJ in an awesome light, and made it kind of seem like a family-oriented company, which is really important to me. But during the career fair, I didn't really take advantage of going to talk to the other booths that were there. I kind of just gravitated towards someone I knew because I was nervous, and that's kind of shown up previously in my life where I don't really push myself outside of my comfort zone, which Greg alluded to earlier is something that's really important here in NxJ, is to grow you as a person, whether it be through culture or revenue. So this is just one instance where, looking back, I kind of saw that coming up. So, as an intern, worked on, like I said, some pretty cool projects. It was awesome to say that you can start pushing code to your production environment within your first 2 weeks of working here. So you could see a measurable difference in your work. We also had the privilege of doing Code for a Cause, which was working with a nonprofit to help build a website in a team of 4. So we took 2 weeks out of our internship to dedicate time to doing that. At the end of the summer, all the other interns left. I stayed to join on as full-time. So that was a little difficult for me because I had made pretty close friends with them, and I stuck with them the majority of the summer. And so, I kind of had to go out of my comfort zone again, making new friends with full-timers. I felt like the new guy again, so it was kind of like I was starting over. At the end of the summer, the interns had to give presentations about what they contributed throughout the summer, what they learned, how they grew. And I distinctly remember some of Greg's feedback for me was that even after 2 months of working there, I didn't really take any chances. He felt like he didn't know me too well compared, he met me at the beginning of the summer and felt like he still didn't know too much about me at the end of the summer. So, that was kind of tough feedback to get because, I just wanted to do well and not mess anything up during my internship. But, I could see where he's coming from. I think it hurt most because, I knew he was right, where, truth always hurts is what people say. So, once you start as a full-timer, you go through personal leadership boot camp, and that's a time where you get time to reflect on something that you want to work on. And so I decided to start addressing my fear of judgment, which popped up in a lot of different instances throughout my life. It stemmed from when I was a little kid, I had weight issues, and so I was picked on a lot during school. So that kind of carried with me throughout my life, even through college. it turned from just a physical thing to also a mental thing. I just never really felt like the strongest engineer in my classes because I was kind of worried that my peers would be judging me. And it held me back from really putting myself out there. You know, in group projects, I kind of just took like more of a supporting role. And I feel like it just, you know, really hindered my growth as an engineer. So PLB, you know, it gave me the opportunity to start working on that. So that's kind of how I got involved with Team FitNut in Boston. FitNut means fitness and nutrition, so it's a culture initiative that's responsible for, you know, anything health or wellness related in the office. And so stemming from, you know, those issues, the weight issues I had when I was a child, I put practice grinds in place, and I still carry them with me today. So, you know, I felt pretty confident when it came to working out, I would say, or being physically active. I, you know, never worked out with anyone else, and so this was like the first time I kind of had to put myself in the spotlight, offer my advice to other people, start organizing things to get other people to participate instead of just pushing myself to do that. So, you know, everyone has different interests when it comes to fitness, so we started implementing classes like kickboxing, Pilates, you know, outdoor soccer games after work. Probably one of the hardest things for me was, anyone in Boston knows that my first, you know, year and a half, I didn't run more than like 3 miles during the JPMC run. That was probably the extent of my running for about almost 2 years. Running's just been something I've never been good at, and so, you know, being on this fitness team in the office, I kind of had this, you know, internal terrorist just shouting at me, saying like, why, you know, everyone else is thinking, why is this guy on the fitness team if he can't run more than a mile? So it was just something that I never really practiced because I didn't want people to know that, you know, I can't run more than a mile. So one of the difficult things for me was, so for the JPMC run again, which is an annual run in multiple cities, I do it here in New York and Boston, all over, a group of people wanted to get better at running, start running together as a group. So as I started as a hand on this fitness team, which is, you know, just someone who kind of carries out a lot of orders, does a lot of the day-to-day work. You know, through successes on that front, I kind of realized that, you know, people were happy with these new fitness classes that we implemented, and so eventually I transitioned to captain, which is kind of full ownership of the initiative. And that's like the typical model here at NxJ, is you start on something, learn from the captain, learn from the coach, and then eventually, once you start seeing positive results, you kind of organically transition to a captain. And so we created this NxJ Run Club. So we started with the 5K. After that, we moved on to a 10K. And next month, a group of us from Boston are running a half marathon. And, you know, that's something I would never picture myself doing in my entire lifetime. So it's pretty cool, even if it's like just on the physical side. But, you know, gaining more confidence, because culture is, you know, a place where it's okay to fail. It's a place where it's okay to experiment. You're not always going to be the best right away. Especially for me when it came to running. Of course, I was not the best, but, you know, I'm getting better. So it really helped me build confidence, which carried over eventually to the revenue side. So, you know, as I got more confident from culture, I started, you know, taking more chances on revenue as well. Being brought onto bigger projects, given more responsibilities when it came to, you know, our main product. You know, even being an owner on like my own products, kind of starting from the back end to the front end, seeing the project all the way through. So, you know, as that confidence built up, I was, you know, given more responsibility, and I was thanked for it. I had been recognized for my culture contributions, but, you know, it was great in parallel to be also recognized for your revenue. You know, you're making a business, you're doing things well, and you gain a lot of trust from your coworkers, so it was a really good feeling. But, you know, this is the kind of recognition I like. You know, one-on-one email, like, thanks a lot, I really appreciate it. I really don't like public recognition, which is like why I was a little torn when it came to the Avengers ceremony. When I heard my name called, I was like, I was dumbfounded. So Avengers is our annual peer-nominated award where, you know, over 100 submissions from NxJers are submitted to kind of pick out the one person that they feel helped them out the most. And, you know, so, you know, I felt really proud that my contributions were recognized. My mom was there too. I'd never really seen my mom cry from being proud of me, so I was also, you know, I felt weak. Like, at the same time I felt proud, I also felt weak, so it real tornado of emotions because just seeing her cry kind of made me cry. And I was a little nervous because usually go up on stage and give a speech, and I really am not good at public speaking, so roller coaster of emotions. But I was honored to be recognized, be chosen to be a part of this this core group of next jumpers that it was truly an honor. But it just felt like something that everyone deserves. Here at Next Jump, the family feel is real. I remember I was pretty out of it when I went up on stage to go give a speech, and I said, there's nobody in this company that I feel about, because no matter who asks for help, it really doesn't matter. If you asked anyone for help, they would lend a hand. I've always wanted to give back to my community, to people around me, so it just felt natural. Everyone else is doing it, because at Next Jump, your coworkers are more than just coworkers. Like, they're people that care about you, that you can consider them your family. So there is my family. Like I said, it was great having them there. It was also a little awkward. It was like, bring your parents to work day for me. So I got to meet all my coworkers, all these VIP guests, people I had no idea who they were, but everyone was shaking our hands and telling my parents what a great job they've done. But I mean, again, it was an amazing time. My mom was like she'd never heard of an award like this before, so she didn't really know how to react, which is why she was crying. Like, she always had high expectations for her kids, but to hear of a company that goes out of their way to recognize deeds that would normally go unnoticed in a typical company was just something totally new to her. And outside of that, this is also my family. This is my lunch group in the Boston office every day. We're all a little weird, but we accept each other for it, and that's what makes our lunches fun. But it's cool to be able to say that some of your coworkers have grown to be your best friends. And this is also my family. This is the majority of the Boston office. So not many companies provide multiple avenues to be able to unite families as one. So this is our annual holiday brunch in Boston. So it's cool to be able to get everyone's families there, hang out with Greg's kids and Avessa's kids. It's like a truly special moment. And this is also my family. So this is the entire Next Jump Corporation community at our summer outing this past year. We don't work in the same office, but it feels kind of like we do. We're always leaning on each other for support. We're always in contact with each other, even if it's with the guys in the UK that are 5 hours ahead of us. But when we do get together, we have a really great time. And that just kind of leads to the fact that Next Jump it's more than just a normal company. It's a community that it's helped shape the person that I am today. And I really never thought that I'd be able to say that about a company coming out of school, because this is my first job, and I had no bar set. But after working here for 2 years and a few months now, the bar is just, I really don't see anything higher than this bar. So that's all I have for you guys today. Wish you the best of luck. So.